Okay, perfect. All right. Well, Ivo, thank you very much for taking the time for this interview today. I really appreciate it. Before I want to hear about or ask you about rebalancing Earth, first of all, Ivo, who are you? Can you share a bit about yourself? And then also, how did you come about this idea to think about rebalancing Earth in first place?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm happy to share the ideas. And first of all, I'm not important in that. Like everybody else, I'm concerned with pollution and poverty. And when I was drilling down this path, I came across a root cause from which then we built up the idea. So we have people with high income. High income people have high consumption, and high consumption causes high pollution. And CO2 is a kind of pollution. And CO2 pollution correlates highly with all other forms of pollution. So we can simplify again and just focus on CO2 for now. Okay? So now we have the high income people with the high pollution, and we have the low income people, which is 50% of global population, is people that have an average $2,000 a year. And they have very, very low pollution, obviously. So to give some numbers, the top 10% of people have about $75,000 in average and cause pollution of 23 tons, about 23 tons of CO2 per year. Whereas
per person or in total?
Per person. Yeah, it's 35 gigatons altogether. So, and the interesting thing that like half the population of the world is in average polluting 0.68 tons. And here's the twist. The income, everybody keeps for himself. But the pollution, they share with everybody.
Yeah.
And this is the flaw in the system. And this is what we need to balance. Otherwise, we will see not only a collapse of the ecosystems, but I'm afraid there will be a point where the people that are betrayed here, actually, more or less, do something about it. And we have seen this wave of terrorism, and we have seen waves of migration. And I'm afraid there's more things that will happen if we don't do something about it.
How do you want to fight that flaw in the system? What is your idea about it?
The core idea is to put a price tag on pollution, charge for high consumption and pollution, and then distribute this money back to the people. So that people that have a high consumption have a little like reduction of their additional cost, and the low income people that don't pollute that much, a positive balance in that, and can better fight the effects of the global pollution.
Okay, and how do you exactly want to do that?
Okay, so the new thing that we can do here, and now finally blockchain comes into play. The new things that we have here is NFTs, cryptocurrencies, decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs. And we use all three. What we do is the Rebalancing Earth movement is intending to create an NFT system. An NFT system where you have like a NFT per 1 million tons of CO2, and that the people that are trading with fossil fuels and people that are involved in the value chain, they buy these NFTs to get the price into their products. And so the consumer will obviously pay a higher price if we put the price of pollution into this. But the idea is then, as soon as some of the big players in this field buys this NFT, puts like value into the system, a smart contract will distribute this value to all individual people. So we will have like 8 billion crypto wallets, and the smart contract execution distributes the incoming value to all individual wallets, and so that everybody on Earth can then go and claim his wallet. He can claim for his account to get his share.
Okay, and how do you ensure that if someone is buying that kind, because it sounds like a tax to me, like a CO2 tax, and how do you ensure that if someone is buying that NFT worth 1 million tons of CO2, that he's not adding that price on its product, so that
No, I want him. I want him to add it.
you want him to do
Okay,
that,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. So the system is from people for people. I mean, it's the people that do the pollution. It's not the companies. They do their business. They're made to do business. Ultimately, the consumer buys the products and does the consumption, and the consumer is the one who has to pay. But the consumer is also the one who gets his share of the incoming value. And this way we can balance out high consumption against low consumption.
So then a negative consequence could also be for someone adding that tax to his products, that he might run out of business because it's becoming too expensive for people.
And it's not a tax, actually. It's a like it's a balancing. It's a value flow from high consumers to low consumers. It's independent of nationalities or race or age or whatever. Like everybody consumes, and everybody needs to pay for the fair value that he consumes for. People should be happy that they had decades and decades where they consumed with a big discount, right? But we just end this discount.
You mentioned NFTs, cryptos, and DAOs, blockchain, all these things. So, what is your interest in blockchain, and maybe also your experience that you think this is the technology?
First is that blockchain brings transparency, and blockchain brings security. It's actually an enabler. Without this, it wouldn't be possible. So what we could do with blockchain technology, we could issue these NFTs. Let's take the example that like Shell thinks it's a good idea, and they start to cooperate and buy these NFTs. So they can use these NFTs to put them on their website, and everybody can immediately prove that Shell is in. So if a consumer, and it's actually the people as consumers or as shareholders or as employees, can then decide, so I go buy Shell products in the future, but I know they will be a little bit more expensive, but I'm sure that they paid their dues. And I'm sure this money is distributed to all the people because I can follow this on the blockchain. And it's not like a tax where nobody knows where it really goes, but it's fully transparent. And a rebalancing Earth as the initiative that gets this thing going has no access to this, right? So the whole process is done by smart contracts, and the legal entity will be like the DAO of all people, the UIO, the United Individuals Organization. That is the owner, let's say, of the process, but the smart contracts are executing automatically.
Understood. And I think also, actually, because you need to find a tool that you can distribute the money amongst 8 billion people, and the wallets, like let's say the decentral banking system, is made for that purpose.
Yeah, actually, we can create 8 billion accounts, like crypto accounts, accessible to everybody who can have a unique identification. And there is systems like Bright ID, for example, that make sure that you can only claim for one account. And once Maria has claimed her account, you can then open your MetaMask wallet, and you can see your share, your compensation, as we call it, and then transfer this into other cryptos or do whatever you want with it, right? So it's a two-stage process, but this is where blockchain is instrumental.
My next question is, when this, I mean, you said you're at the beginning, yet you're looking, I think you're also looking for founders. What are your upcoming milestones?
First is that the bootstrap team that have built up some of the infrastructure, that they step a little bit back and then make room for founders. And a founder is a person that has multiple roles in this. We have to spread the idea all over the world. So it has to be a global group, and this group needs to bring some funding. and we will take donations for whomever, but the founders will be the key people to bring in some funding, and we need the funding to operate the systems. And so the next key milestone we're working on is exactly the combination from NFT, wallet, DAO, smart contract execution. This needs to be built up, and this needs to be 100% bulletproof. And the scalability is an issue, as none of the crypto systems as of to date can process this number of processes that we need, right? But this will change over the course of the year, I guess. Would be the next milestone, where to go public and then bring in people that really claim their accounts, that really get started to work with the system. This is the third milestone. So milestone 1 is build up the DAO that executes the content. The second step is all the work that is needed around communicating this and bringing this to every corner of the world.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's very ambitious. What is it that I can do to support and help this project?
Yeah, so we are in the last steps to set up the Rebalancing Earth DAO. You can join in, bring some maybe 0.1 Ethereum, and then you have a share and a saying in the whole initiative.
Okay, so that also means I can contribute with in-kind. So, for example, if I can code, I don't have to bring Ethereum or other crypto. I can just say I'm gonna bring in 20 hours of my working time to code on whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
You go to GitLab. There is a GitLab page. You coordinate by the Discord channel. You go to the GitLab page to bring the contribution, and the same with all the communication. I mean, we have a basic website. And we have the channels like Twitter, Instagram, and so on. There's people that need to feed it.
And that also brings me to my very last question. Where can I find more information about this? I'm very curious. I want to learn more. I want to read into this. You mentioned Twitter, GitLab. Where do I find all these links?
Yes, take a browser, rebalancing.earth, and then you find all the other sources. Is a community tab where all the others are listed, and you can go in more detail.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ivo. That was very enlightening, and really love the project. Thank you for sharing that with me and everyone else listening. So whom else is listening or seeing this video right now, please go on rebalancing.earth and join this really, really great project. It'll take all of us to make a change. So
thank you. Thank you very much.